Yay, from Nigeria. Yes. How amazing. The absolute is dreaming
Hold
of
on.
being
Sorry,
in
sorry,
this
sorry,
room.
sorry.
Yeah. All one being, just being this. And the seeing the screen full of faces is not happening from the eyes or the body. It's pure consciousness perceiving itself, being. Screen of faces. How beautiful.
Hi, hello.
Hey!
Oh, that's Leela.
What is always here? What's permanent despite the changing images on the screen, the thoughts, the appearances? What's always here? This conscious presence that has no name.
Ginny.
Hey! Yay, Nina!
Happy to see you. Greetings to all from Kenya.
Oh,
Happy to see
beautiful.
you, Nina.
Yay.
Wow.
Um, the word
Greetings to everybody from
getting
Nigeria.
feedback. I wonder why. There. Um, the last few days, the word judgment has come up a lot in the mind, and there's a resistance. There's also a resistance to it, wanting to try to get rid of it because of the quote, "Judge not lest ye be judged." And so I always came into that quote trying from the person trying to get rid of it. And so every time I tried to get rid of it, I would be judging again.
What you resist first is?
And
It
so
just
this
wants
is
to
this is the
be,
human condition. I understand this is the mind's dilemma, trying to get rid of itself.
yeah.
And just in the last few days, I've come to see the self is the judgment. The separated self is the resistance. So instead of resisting it or judging it, I'm allowing it to be just as it is. And it can stay as long as it wants. So the last few days, lots of judgments coming up. It just judge everything, everyone. It's all just full on judging. everything everyone says. It's like it can't stop itself.
Awesome.
But in that seeing, it's like a allowance. It's like a non-judgmental activity. I don't know what it is, just a non-judgmental forgiveness or whatever it's called. Looking upon it and saying, you can stay as long as you want. I don't care anymore. Like I'm not going to try to get rid of you.
Yay.
And it's a lot. There's a lot of freedom in that. But at the same time, another word that came up was loyalty. I had to face that, and it was like another judgment. The fact that trying to be something, I'm in hiding of my own judgment. So then the loyalty covers it up in a way. I feel like loyalty can be a trap in a way, because I'm not allowing my judgments to be seen. Like I can't speak them, I can't say them, I have to hide them, I have to get rid of them. And loyalty keeps me in that fantasy of myself that I can have relationships, but as long as everybody's giving and receiving in a contract, like loyalty is about, I'll give to you something, you give to me something. And if that doesn't happen, then there's going to be judgment. There it is again. So there's just always been this fear of it. And now it can just show up, and I don't have to defend it or attack it or anything. I could just see it.
Beautiful.
That's what's been going on here.
Yeah, it's all coming home to play. Be it allowed to play on the playground when everyone's allowed to play and no one's being bullied. It's free. And then, because what you resist persists until you allow it, or it's all inclusive. It's all one. When it's told it's separate, it gets mad. It's like, no, I'm not separate. So it's all allowed.
Yeah.
It's so cool too, because when there's no resistance, when it's all inclusive, all unconditional, it can dissolve too and stop coming up. I noticed that too. It's like, it's so cool because it's just it's a sensory experience for you as God to explore everything, every emotion, every feeling. What is it like to be? What is it like to be annoyed? What is it like? And all of these are just sensations happening in pure consciousness, and you're the source of it, the absolute pure awareness that's aware of it, that precedes it, that's the source of it. And it can't appear without you being aware of it. You are the source of it, appearing as it, imagining it, exploring yourself as it. So it's all sensual. It's all making love through every sensation.
Beautiful, Ginny.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Nana.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks for listening.
That's funny when you realize, oh, nothing says judgment shouldn't be here.
That's right.
It's entertaining too. It's like when it's allowed to be there, when it's like you're in the movie theater, kicked back, eating popcorn, watching it, just amused by all of it. It's all allowed to be. It's entertaining. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Or
We're a
you're on
bunch
the
of
screen just acting it up, getting dramatic.
Yeah. Dramatic just for fun.
we're a bunch of tricksters.
Well, in certain families, you can't rock the boat
Mhm.
or all hell breaks loose, and then there's lots of judgment coming at you. That's why I'm I'm looking at judgment in a different way
Mhm.
instead of something to be that it's threatening or it's coming to get you or it's going to punish you or it's just a mistaken identity.
Mhm. And yeah, it's so funny too because it has infinite meaning. It's whatever meaning you give it.
Mm.
So it's yeah, not good or bad. It's empty potential appearing as sensation, which has no meaning except for whatever you resonate as, so it's being that. So if it's resonated with being good then there'll be rendered evidence of that. Playfully. Yeah, it's so funny the pretend labels. And then you realize, oh my God, none of that was real. It's all make believe. It's like whatever I want it to be.
Mhm.
I'm going to label every behavior good. Check plus.
Yeah. See no evil.
Yeah.
I think Sid wanted to say something, right, Sid?
Thanks, it does. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And,
Yay.
and Michael, Jenny, and Dara, Leela, it's so nice to see you guys again. And I haven't been with the bigger group before. And I have something that's here, and I'm not sure how to speak it. I've been watching kind of you all's videos and videos of a number of my colleagues as well. And it's about it's like wanting like this is both the freedom, but wanting it also to be the safety net, wanting it also be this unconditional love that's always here for us. um I about 5 years ago, and I can't remember her name. There was this 20 something woman on the non-dual circuit and she was so alive. She just lit everything up. She had a couple hundred videos. She'd be out in nature and everybody just fell in love with her. And she was very raw and open. And then suddenly she disappeared. She got in a relationship with this man that was a non-dual teacher, and her videos all disappeared. And any place that had her videos, she wrote them and asked them to take them down. And it's like, I'm not saying there's such a thing as flying too close to the sun, but in this openness and freedom, I think there's another side of it that I'm just like loving if we can all experience that too. And I don't know how to say this, but this emptiness, this freedom, I think is also this safety net. It's also this love, this care as we find qualities of this beingness. And it just broke my heart. I think Michael knows who she is, but it's like seeing this happen. And there's something that's protective here that's kind of wanting us all to have that care, maybe even especially as a group here today, to feel that care, love, and support, that the sense that we're all being held, that there's no place we can fall. The only thing we can fall is into this. The embarrassment comes because we're being very open here. I mean, these are public videos, and I have a couple hundred of them out there, and I know many of you do too. And there's something very public and vulnerable in that, especially if someone kind of mean comes along and starts pointing at us. And I just love it that we're all supported as well by the nature of this beingness. And I'm going to tag you guys with where we go with that, but it's bubbling here.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful, Sid. It is safe. Yeah. It's home. Home sweet home. Like if you close your eyes and you imagine the sound of a dog barking and the taste of a sour lemon, where is this happening? Happening in you is pure consciousness. All of this is. It's all one. It's all you. It's all pure consciousness. Perceiving sensations, this sensory experience. And what is always there? Imagine the sound of a bell. Notice that it appears and disappears, but what's always there? That's the self, the capital S self that Advaita talks about, the absolute. You are that. Imagining all of this, appearing as all of this, making love to yourself is all of this, and you are so safe. Always home, can never die, eternal, immortal, invincible. You're not inside the body, you're imagining bodies, you're sensing bodies. And even the taste of the sour lemon didn't happen with the tongue. You are the consciousness tasting yourself. And the one that's hearing this voice is not inside the body. It's not the ears. It's the source of this sound, perceiving this sound. And this sound can't appear without you being aware of it. You're the source of it. So yeah, that's super safe. Always home. Never leaves home. Always here.
I don't feel like the meaninglessness and the emptiness is contradictory to the fullness. So I don't know if that's what you were referring to, Sid, but there was a lot of fear here when I was seeking about the emptiness, but it's a nothing burger because this was always empty, so it'll always remain full.
Even in the midst of this with some of my friends, that like the precious human vulnerability gets touched, and when that does, or something might, a fear might be touched, or there's a lot of exposure here with our friends in this community and what we're doing. There's a lot of exposure, and just when that gets touched, there's just something in me that wants everyone to be held, and in just what Ginny was saying and you're saying, there's just there is a fullness of this. There is love here. There is okay, where can we go? We already are home, but just loving everyone being held in that.
Yeah, me too. The last video I put up today, I said I value the golden rule above all else. And that's just a preference. It's a belief system, basically, and it still remains. And I'm okay with that. I prefer kindness, but I also see that this is free to appear as unkind or hurt people hurting people. So that's the beauty of groups like this. We get to come together and commune.
Beautiful. In the chat box, the absolute experience is being infinitely many suffering and non-suffering minds. I would say one mind exploring itself, infinite perspective, infinite potential, a visceral, sensory experiences, just perceiving sensations. Yeah, when there's identifying with being separate from the sensation of suffering, that's what makes it feel like suffering. And there's no resistance, everything's allowed to be. You can't tell the difference between pleasure and pain. It's the same ecstasy. It's the same. It's all perceiving the sensation of a quality, of a finite quality that comes and goes, but you are the one that remains, that's the one aware of it, that's the source of it, that's perceiving itself.
Yeah, I can say now, since a lot of the interest has dropped in the thoughts, and it's just like a bird outside the window most of the time, um, there's more space for sensational aliveness and just feeling the heaviness and the tingliness of this, and sights and sounds and all of it. When before I felt like I was so dissociated. It was pure fantasy almost constantly, imagining something better. But when you're with this moment fully, then you see how miraculous just this is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beyond intimacy. And I was like, there's no word for that. And then I was like, oh yeah, beingness. Being. That's a good word for it.
That's Indira's word.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, there's no problem in the aliveness. I mean, right now, sitting right here, there's no problem in the sights, the sensations, there's just no problem. Whereas, like Ginny, Leela was saying, for me, the same thing. The body was so used to putting attention on thoughts that it just would negate the experience of this, which is so simple, which is what the mind can't comprehend. It never will. It'll come up with all these stories of how this should be, or a story of enlightenment, liberation, whatever the hell that means. But then when it's seen that they're just thoughts arising, and it's not who I am, it's just arising and speaking, whatever. And but then there's like, and not taking them personally, and then putting, the senses on the sense gates, everything feels alive. There's no problem in this. Then the mind will go, what about this?
Give me something to worry about.
Yeah.
Distract me from presence. Because in presence, I realize I'm not the character. I don't want to not identify as the character.
Yes. Like, get smart. What about this? What about this?
Yeah.
Yesterday, you remember that?
That's cute. When
Yeah,
it's seen through though, it's you can't be fooled anymore. You know.
it's like a kid trying to get attention, kicking me, and it's like I just want you to look at me, and that's all this was. It's crazy, but
That's
funny at the
sweet.
same time.
It only takes a second to acknowledge what the mind's doing, and it doesn't really need anything. It's just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you feel it, the sensation without thought, it dissolves it, dissolves everything. It's the absolute seeing itself. Because if you're aware of it, then
Yeah.
you're the source of it. You're proceed it. It wouldn't appear to exist without you. It is you appearing as whatever. And when it's all me, nothing's scary. Like you don't believe in the boogeyman anymore. And it's so cute too, like being a child playing, like when we played imaginary friends, we had imaginary friends and like doing stuff and playing house and stuff. That's all this is. It's one God playing with itself, you know, and the imagination. It's amazing.
You can see what a magnificent tool the mind is when it's seen to be a tool and not me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the infinite playground.
And it becomes really funny.
Yeah. And it's so changeable and healable and malleable. Nothing's ever doomed. It's whatever you resonate with, you render evidence of. The imagination abstracts the proof. So it can be anything. It's playful. And it makes sense that you being singular, all alone, can't get outside of yourself, you know, to be separate, to imagine form qualities. You can sense yourself, you can experience yourself. You can see yourself as everything.
Mm.
Just to put it in a little story, it kind of feels like I'm my own parent now. Like I'm the parent that like the perfect parent. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's okay, you know.
Yes.
Yes,
Hey,
the perfect
Leela,
parent.
will you say more about that? Tell us about what's it like to be the perfect parent? What's that like?
Well, when we're growing up, we in society, we usually hear voices that are, from authorities and peers that are usually not accepting. They're they're usually telling you what you should and shouldn't do and how things are and putting everything inside of conceptual boxes. And as innocent animals, it can take a toll. It can be confusing. We can be confused until the day we die. Um, we don't usually get that voice of, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to be confused. Um, it's completely understandable. Um, and we can get to a place where we can see experientially that, of course, it's understandable. Like, Of course, I would react this way, having been through this trauma. It's okay to be sad, you know. It's okay to be angry or fearful. It literally is. Like you can see it. It's already arising, and it's completely valid as it arises. Um, and only fantasy says it shouldn't be that way.
Hmm.
So to me, that's compassion, self-compassion, or self-love. When you see that you're not thinking your thoughts, you're not doing your actions.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's not something I would say as a practice, like be your own parent, you know. If I would have heard that, I wouldn't have known how to do it. You know, it's not something that it's like an apple falls from a tree.
Yeah.
You just see, oh, it's already allowed, you know.
That's so cool. I was having a conversation with someone about that. Like when I needed my mom, for example, in the story the most, when I needed her the most, she wasn't there for me. You know, like when you need something and push it away, or that lack frequency that renders the evidence, you know, was showing me, you know, that these appearances, they come and go, are unreliable. So what is permanent? What is always reliable? And so that was the best gift I could ever have asked, is when she wasn't there for me, because then I had to go within and realize I am the mother. I am the entire universe, and I don't need anything.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is, and it really, and that unconditional love, and just like seeing, you know, what you are the absolute that's dreaming this, you know, and you are everything, just like having a daydream, imagining a world and characters and stories. How could you be separate from it? It's all your mind. It's all you appearing in the imagination as everything, as all the characters. And that which has no name and, you know,
Mm.
personality, no, is eternal, immortal. That's what you are, appearing as all of this. So yeah, it was like being your best mom, and I was too. I was like, I'm the best mom. I am my own mother. And then I ended up being a bomb mom, you know, when the kids happened, you know, it's like
When it happened.
yeah. When that magically appeared.
Wow. It feels like trusting life, but it it's not something you can tell someone to do or how to do or
It's what you already are. It's so
Mhm.
natural. Just
Yeah.
so it's yesterday, I guess you could call it a practice or not, but intuitively, I just laid on the bed and like my heart was open to do this. And it was like a somatic, I was doing a somatic breathing just out of nowhere. I thought, let's do this. And I was doing somatic breathing and putting all the, laying down, putting all the attention on the body and the breath going in and out. And then there was this pervasive felt sense, experiential beingness, right? What everybody is here, right here. It's
Mm-hmm.
so natural. And it was looking foreseeing all that was happening to the body. And so allowing the body to cry, just let it rip, let it cry, you know, let the, I just, there was so much desire and impulse to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And without words, without the story, like letting the body just cry and showing up for it and just, you know, wow, you're doing a great job, even though those words didn't come up. And even if they did come up, that sense felt beingness is there, watching and loving and being just this compassion is just arising for it because there's no one else in the room, so
Yeah, that's all that's there is that conscious and loveness. Yeah, awareness.
just letting that, because for a long time I was taught to not feel, don't talk, don't feel. And so this is to allow this to happen for this body is just and have that loving presence, which is what we call beingness, emptiness, to just embrace that crying. It was great. I mean, it can actually become a great experience rather than a suffering experience. And then it was done.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Or just, yeah, it can become euphoric sometimes when there's only the whatever emotion is coming through, even if it was labeled as not preferred in the conditioning before.
Yeah, being one with it is just beyond intimacy and love.
It can arise with the compassion, like you said, Indira, at the same time. I just wanted to remind everybody that anybody can share at any moment. This is open, just in case you didn't know.
I'd like to add to what Indira says about just allowing yourself, just lay on the bed and just allow whatever the body, it feels like the body wants to feel. But all the things it never felt, it never got to feel. And now it gets to feel. And the other day I was with a friend and the allowance here was, I want to get fucking mad. And my friend allowed the space, and there was no projection of the anger on my friend, but holy crap, was he allowed, like I allowed myself to express. He was watching it, and I wasn't afraid of him judging me.
Hell yeah.
It was really neat because I can get mad I can get mad when there's nobody around, but when there's somebody around, I tend to censor myself. There was really there was no censoring, and I was saying swear words and I never swear.
Beautiful.
Like, come on. And I was just feeling like I had been bound and gagged for centuries. And it was like, that's enough.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Like enough is enough.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But it wasn't an anger towards anything. It was just an allowance of it to rise up because of it having been so suppressed for so long and judged for so long is bad. Or it's gonna, if you're angry, it's gonna get you, somebody's gonna get you back or something.
Yeah.
It's nice that someone was able to hold a space for you. That was really nice. Yeah.
I know.
That's a blessing.
That's an awesome friend. Heck yeah.
Yeah, it's just the anger. It feels like anger is an entity or something. It gets its time in the limelight, And it can be as full on as it ever was and still be impersonal at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. Yeah.
There was a separation. There wasn't like I was mad. It was just anger.
Right.
And I was the perfect parent.
Yes.
Just the holding the space, just witnessing it. And
beautiful.
It's very freeing.
It's so freeing.
Yeah, if we ever have a retreat, we should do cross sessions.
Yay.
We'll rub people's back.
Oh, sweet.
Pet them and stuff.
I love it.
Yes. And the breathing can bring on the crying and can bring on the anger. Like that breathing, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, what is it that we joke around, Michael Jeffries, the everything must go clearance. Like when you see the people on the side of the road, everything must go.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like everything needs to come out and be free. And then it's like when it's welcomed, yay, I love you. Then it's just game over and it's like there's no resistance. It's so great. And then it's uninhibited. It's just doing itself, just like watching a movie. Like, yeah. But it's amazing that the illusion of conditioning, like the memory that's just like it's like Akashic records available now. It's like immediate because there was no past when it happened. It's just immediate information, but that's what makes it all appear unique, like how else would it appear that there's characters with personalities, without that unique conditioning and stuff. So it's all amazing. And it can easily be transmuted, everything. Like once you're aware of it, it dissolves, It's all welcomed home instantly, immediately.
Nice too that it doesn't have to be amazing and like miraculous and like you don't have to be grateful for it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's no rules. This is chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Love that. You don't have to be grateful for it. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you can be totally arrogant and it just becomes all those little like throwing a fit, those little emotions, they become so innocent and cute. Like really, just like,
Yeah.
oh, of course it, poor thing, it would feel that way,
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, there's like also a forgetting too. I don't know if you guys experience that or not, but it's
Mm.
like getting really angry at work, getting triggered and seeing and watching, just sensing that in the body. And it's like, oh, there's like an okayness within it. It's like, okay, it's gone, or maybe it
Mhm.
lasts an hour, which is really uncomfortable, but it's okay.
Mhm.
Say that this
Yeah.
it's not like happy go free. I'm smiling all day long and peace on a mountain with a diaper on. It's nothing like that. It's being fully human, guys. It's just being
Yeah.
human and just acknowledging it and not. I mean, there may be stories that arise with it, which is seen, of course, but then it's like not. It's just letting the emotion come up, seeing the story, but then really feeling it in the body, and then, like you said, game over, dismantles. I didn't even know that. I mean, I guess if you put words to it, that's what happens, and then next thing you
Mhm.
know, I'm walking to the bathroom. It's gone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
buying some
Mhm.
sandwich or something. I don't know.
Like it never even happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to anticipate it ever happening again.
Hit me in red front yard. Cool.
Mhm. Yeah, no resistance. When everything's welcome, like when I noticed that depression, whatever, was welcome, it can be there. It doesn't matter. Then it stopped coming. It's like, or stopped appearing. That sensation stopped.
Mhm.
So when it's resisted, that's when there's that identification with I'm the avatar and that's separate from me, which is the illusion. But I'm this totality, this consciousness. I'm the absolute appearing as making love to myself through all of these sensations. They are me. I'm not scared of them. I don't resist them. It's one. And so then it's all welcome to be.
Yeah.
In the chat, let's see. I find when I'm sad, I want to be sad, and when I'm happy, I want to be happy. Meditation stopped me from being depressed. It took a few years, but it worked.
The last time I had a small depression, it didn't last that long, but I really watched it really closely, and it was fascinating because it wasn't like consistent. Like there would be frustration and sort of down and uninterest and things that come along with depression, but they would only pop up throughout the day, like here and there. It wasn't a consistent state like I imagined it to be. So it took on a whole new sort of life with this obvious simplicity. It was fascinating to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And not linear, that's too, like everything's, these sensations appear and disappear. They're transient, they're malleable, it's empty potential. Mm-hmm.
It's just a film reel frame.
Yeah, a single frame. Boom, nothing happened. You were just born just now, just now. You were just born, for real.
Yeah.
Nothing happened before this. Those words, where did they go? Where did those
Now
words
you're
go?
talking.
Yeah, I never had a life. I wasn't born. I was never traumatized. Oh my gosh, this is all just for fun. What a unique experience. What is it like to be? Wow.
Unlimited feelings.
Yeah.
And we're going to feel them all.
Yeah. Yeah, just like wearing the VR headset, you're getting chased by a monster, and the sensations are happening, and you're like, I gotta get out of here. But is that really happening? No, you're just this pure consciousness, this pure awareness, experiencing this sensory experience for fun. It's all sensual. You're the one wearing the VR headset that doesn't die when the avatar dies. You're eternal, not going anywhere.
The PUA said, I've been busy at work these days watching this body doing lots of things. I have no idea how it does all these. Oh,
That's great.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
yeah, I can relate to that. It's like,
Yeah,
look at it go.
I know, it's amazing. It just does itself, automated.
And I feel like when I became very curious and looked at sensations and emotions, like really looked at it with curiosity, without putting a concept there that's comforting, that I know what they actually are. Um, it can be like childlike wonder, like how is this even possible? Even if it's grief or something that we don't prefer. It's just pure aliveness when you really look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Jade said, memories are just a thought that something has happened. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Happening right now.
Yeah, right now, immediately. And it can change too. You can change memories completely, transmute it because it's just energy, it's just resonance, information. It's infinite. It can be anything.
Yeah, so when the seeking fell, and then there was a saying that it's always been without an entity doing, thinking, memory changed. Like all the memory changed because now when I remember it without a person, without choice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's malleable. It didn't actually happen the way you thought it did.
Yeah, and it didn't even happen. That's the crazy part, too. And it's just Oh my gosh. It can be anything.
Wow, it's pretty deep, Leela.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're all the same being,
So true.
just being.
Yeah.
Communicating, but with no one.
Yay.
Just, yeah, it's deep.
Mm-hmm.
Remembering without the person. Oh, wow. That was beautiful. It's the first time I heard that. I like that. Because I feel that. There's a feeling of that. That feels experiential. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, we have memories of things we wish maybe we would have done it differently, but we see no, that wasn't even possible. I mean, there was no one there that did that, so it's just like innocence dancing. You know, even now, in a thought of a memory, that's all we have of it is just the memory.
In the chat box, like a memory of an us that never really was. Beautiful.
I have a question. How many of you still have a desire to make the world a better place, like in your mind, in the mind? I like, yeah, Don. Because I've always had that all my life too. I just wanted peace on earth ever since I can remember, little girl. And I knew that that was going to happen. It wasn't a matter of if. It was just going to happen. But it was always this peace outside of myself. It wasn't really a self peace. And now all I want is inner peace, which this is inner peace right here, right now.
Mm-hmm.
The desire to save the world doesn't exist anymore in this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thought was just a desire for something in the future, but if there really isn't a future, there's just inner peace now.
Yay. Which is the entire
Where's the
universe. So
thought to,
there's the peace on earth right there.
where that this is peace on earth?
Yeah.
It's not something that we have to attain or work for or sacrifice, and you know, all these horrible concepts that used to always drive the doing.
Mm-hmm.
They're just concepts.
Yeah. And there is no world to save. There is no one to convince.
Yeah,
There is
so
no one
freeing.
suffering. This is just all one God making love. It's just beautiful.
And without judgment, there is no suffering.
Mm-hmm.
There's just love. I watched a documentary the other day on the fentanyl crisis down in my province in Vancouver, BC. And I used to thought I'd never watch anything like that. It was just horrific. It's terrible. Like it felt like they were separate from me. You know, I was separate from them. They're
Mm-hmm.
different than me. And I watched it with a different mindset in a way. They were all me. It was like they all had the same heart that for love and to be loved and the fears and the running away from judgment and all this stuff, wanting relief, and all the stuff came up within me. And I stopped judging them when I watched the movie. I used to judge them and then I would judge myself for judging them and all this crazy. And now it just felt like this is just the way it is. It's an appearance, and it's to be looked at through the eyes of the absolute stillness, and it's all just what's happening. And there's no judgment in it. It's just it was such a beautiful relief.
Wow. Beautiful.
That I don't have to worry and make myself sick about all the bad things that are happening out there, because that isn't really being of service. Worry is not service. And like the word service.
Or is it?
Well, I look at if I worry, if there's worrying, that can be noticed too.
I just wanted to say that hope for the world or for the dream or whatever, it can still arise here. I feel like I went from trying to be positive about it to trying not to think about it to all these different relationships with my humanitarian spirit, but it's semi-transparent now in the way that it's allowed to arise, and it's also empty at the same time.
Even the unconditional love of being everything, that compassion, that love for life, it takes care of itself. It loves itself. It is itself. And yeah, it's amazing how like the more I stayed in the absolute awareness of this making love to itself, it is everything. It is one. It is, you are this. And so that there is no world. There is nothing separate going on. And that resonance renders evidence in the imagination. So then you render the evidence or the appearance, the mental projection of being the resonance. So it's like heaven within, heaven without. So then when everything's transmuted and it's heaven, then that's all you see. And you don't see anything else. And it's total peace, like you said. It's like, because I remember when I projected a crazy ass world. I remember what a freak show it was, but I was resonating on that. So then I was projecting mentally, hallucinating those characters and those tricksters. But then when I realized it's all me and I'm God dreaming this and I'm not separate from this, it's all me. Then it wasn't, and I was like, oh my gosh, I went in and edited the movie, you could say, changed the projector. And so now it's just like there's nothing going on. There's people smiling, walking their dogs, and that's all I see. And then these beautiful Zooms where we're talking about being God talking to itself. That's it. But there can be anything resonating on anything just for fun, you know? Like my boys they always want to watch a fucked up movie, so then I get to see, you know, the imagination projecting a crazy scene, you know. It's like but it's all playful. It's not real, not really happening.
So if you see if you're walking down the street and you go by a homeless encampment and you see only God, you're in that state. Everything's perfect. What do you do? What do you do, or what does one do? You see it all as God, perfect, all bright colors and beautiful, vivid. However however you experience that state.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do? Do you just, oh, that's cool, and just wave and go by and
Well, if somebody comes up to me, if somebody would come up to me and ask for something, I would feel like I would like to answer that question, you know? Offer a solution or something, like just in that moment. It's not something conceptual. It's just in the immediate moment.
Yeah.
Even planned.
would you be moved to do anything from that state that you're talking about, though? Would you be moved? Nobody asks anything. Would you be moved to do something in the movie on the
Yeah, if I
physical
saw
plane?
somebody cold, I'd probably, if they were shivering, you know, it's an impulse. I'd be like, oh, here, have something warm for you. But a lot of the times they don't want anything. They don't want to be bothered.
Oh, I love how my dad used to just straight up go to the liquor store and bring all the liquor. Like, here, take it. And it's like,
Oh,
I know what you want.
wow.
I know what you want.
That would be so fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could have some
Passing
shots
it
with
out.
them and stuff.
And my
Yeah.
best friend Bubbles, every week she cashes, or she divides $100 in tens and fives and whatever, and then she passes it out at all the red lights. Like
Yeah.
it's all unique, it's all immediate. There's no doer.
Right.
You know, it's like watching a movie that you've never seen before. It's just spontaneously happening like a dream at night. So you have no clue what the character's going to do, but there are nurturing qualities and, you know, here that likes to take care of people or likes to take care, you know.
Yeah, there's an infinite spectrum of potentiality of what could happen when you walk past, you know, less and whichever one pops up is the correct way. So
Yeah, it's all perfect. Couldn't have happened any other way. Yeah.
and you can be in the everything is love, everything is God, I'm God, I'm what, you know, all that. Yeah. In every scenario, that's, yeah. Even if you don't realize that everything is this, that's this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a mood thing too. You know, sometimes you're in the mood to like be generous or having like an aesthetic value of like just wanting to like live beautifully, like live in a way that feels beautiful to you. Like if you have extra, like, yeah, it's beautiful to give that if they want it.
Yeah.
And it's not set in stone either. It's not, it's like, I mean,
It's in every present moment. Each moment is fresh and new.
Yeah. Yeah, like clean slate, like born now. Like it's it's that malleable, it's that healable and changeable.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jenny, go ahead.
No, that was it.
I feel like sometimes we don't really want to see that there's no right and wrong. Like really. Because it kind of doesn't, it kind of pops your balloon. It deflates your drama. You don't have anything to do, anything to reach for. Um, and also it's very free too at the same time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen. And that's it.
Yeah. When there's no problems to solve or nothing to worry about. I talked to someone who said they tried to give themselves something to worry about. There are problems to solve. It's playful for
And
fun.
that was you, Ginny.
Yeah, but someone else agreed. They were like, yeah, they got.
Uh,
Yeah, it's great. You're right. Jenny did say that.
Thank you. When I asked that question, I hear all these wonderful responses. And then over here, it's like it just got more clear, more okay, more loving, more like it's an okayness with heart. That's what I'd like. It's okay. It's okay to the homeless person. It's okay that you're there. Like really. Perfect.
Yeah.
And not that period, just and I love you. It's okay that you're there and I love you. And it's like and then whatever. Then like y'all said, then whatever comes up, whatever moves me to do whatever, to keep walking by or to buy them a hot dog or give them money or hug them, or it's all okay and I love you. God, this was so in those 4 or 5 minutes listening to all you, I get that. That's magic, right? That's magical. Listening to people 5 minutes and then it's just great.
Because there's a lot of other talk, going on it's not okay. And so there's it can create confusion.
In a sense, I mean, it can feel really kind to not have that rescuer energy, because I think that can be annoying for people. Like it's ironic, but sometimes when people are like really nice, it's like annoying.
I mean, I remember, I don't know, maybe, several 8 years ago, where there was this impulse. I came up to this guy in New York City. It was just an impulse. Before all of this that we're doing, just an impulse. And I hugged him and I asked him, I said, do you want, there was a nice interchange between the two of us without going into the whole story, which is a beautiful story. But the mind can cling on to that too and say, well, look what you haven't done. It's like, okay, yeah, like it's okay if it happens or not. It's free as it is. Who says that it has to be, well, you're loving, kind, you've got to do this. And that's just I feel like that's just another what do you call it? It's just a thought agreed on that there has to be, because you're being loving and kind, that you have to do that. And then there's guilt if you don't, if the body doesn't. So I don't feel like, I feel like that this is like so free to be as it is. It comes and goes, whether it feeds somebody or not, identified with that story of, you need, if you're loving and kind, and that's another thing that I don't really resonate with, being loving. Like, what's being loving? Loving is just happening. Kindness just happening. Anger just happens. Frustration. What about frustration? So I don't know. It just sounds a bit solid. Does that resonate? Yeah. Makes sense.
It's like a box. Like you got to put this in a box, love in a box, and it's always got to be that.
Yeah.
But no, that's why I always felt people would always say, Nina, you should be more grateful. And it would just make me feel horrible. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am feeling how I'm feeling. And why
Yeah.
can't that be okay?
Yeah. If somebody said that to me right now, I'd probably be like, screw them.
Yeah.
Do what I want.
I am what I am, right? And I have to be more discerning about who I want to hang out with then after that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
beautiful because you can pick and choose and you can prefer or not, but it's
Yeah.
not personal. So there's no animosity towards the person that you don't want to be around for whatever reason.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just preferences happening.
Yeah, the intuition alarms that something's being divided or being told it's separate. So that's that sensation that's like, no, no, it's not separate. It's fucking allowed. All of it's allowed.
This blows my Christian mind. So
Oh, yeah.
just to let you know what's happening.
It'll blow your Buddha mind too.
Oh, yeah. And what's so cool is what's so cool too is where is all of this happening? In your mind. In the one mind.
Yay. Oh my God.
So there are no homeless people. There are no homeless people.
No,
This is all just you as God imagining this, imagining.
It's all letting it be, and it's free to be, and it's free to go, and it's free to come, and it's whatever.
Mhm. And also like infinite, so you can't have, an elite without a homeless person. Like there's the opposites define themselves in the infinite relative qualities. Like you wouldn't know what one was without knowing the opposite, knowing what it's not. So that's how it defines all of this information and all of this computer memory or hard drive, whatever you want to call it, Akash information. It's like that's how it's defined. And it's just playing with itself as experiencing what it's like to be everything, every sensation. It's all a mental sensation. It's all perceiving sensations. One awareness, one awareness, rendering itself as every sensation, aware of itself. So not separate from it. It's like, so yeah, there is no one suffering.
It's like absolute smoke up the ass.
It's what?
Absolute smoke up the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a very serious question for you guys. I almost watched all the videos and I just wondering why nobody talks about food, like the experience of food. Uh, I know it doesn't make any sense right now talking about food, but this magic experience of just tasting this stuff.
I love it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with chocolate, dark chocolate.
Me too.
Sometimes when I see like clouds, white clouds, I start to, I guess, imagine the taste of white chocolate. I don't know what.
Cool. Yeah, it's being the taste of chocolate. What's so cool is you can't conceptually, intellectually describe the taste of chocolate or the taste of mint or the color green. It's all experiential. It's being. It's being it, beingness. So that's why it can't be described. You are it. You are breathing yourself, eating yourself, making love to yourself, tasting yourself, sensing.
And eating can be so, it's like when she brought that up, I was like, that's beautiful because yesterday I was doing something and there was just so much attention on the crunching of the chips. I was eating chips and it was just like crunch, 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 crunch. You know, you could before like the senses are just so much louder. It's like crunch, 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 and then actually sense to swallowing and the stomach. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is a sensory experience. It's amazing. It's sensual. I love food and love.
Especially when you have the munchies.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Ida, is that how you pronounce your name?
Yeah, it's Aida.
Awesome. Beautiful.
That's the difference in direct experience and conceptual. Like the word chocolate is completely different from the taste of chocolate. So.
Mm-hmm. And even like if you close your eyes and taste chocolate, you can taste it because you are it already. You're pure consciousness perceiving itself. So it's all everything that's appearing to happen is mental projection being perceived beingness. So all of this is imaginary, is sensual.
Same flavor, different taste. Yeah.
Hmm?
Like chocolate, the word, and chocolate, the experience of eating it is like same flavor, different taste.
Yeah. I like it.
And regarding the eating, also interesting is that when your stomach is full, you're not hungry at all, yet you're still eating to the point where you can't even taste the food anymore. It actually is sort of a little nauseating to eat, but you keep eating and keep eating and keep eating.
That's awesome.
I wonder what that is.
That's
Gluttony.
Hungry ghost.
Yeah, and then there's no control over that. It's just happening, you know.
Yes, right.
Dawn, that's funny.
Yeah, we've all been there, man.
Yeah, all been there, done that.
Yeah.
It's so playful, huh?
Yeah. Yep. And then the thought, I'm not going to have dessert tonight. And then you go straight to the counter to get the dessert. So great.
Thoughts really don't have a say in anything.
You're not going to have that chocolate cake. You're not going to have that chocolate cake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no time for thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening is already happening. Going for the cake is already going for the cake.
It's too immediate.
Yeah.
Any last comments or questions before we close out this afternoon?
Last call.
Oh, there's no time for it.
Yeah. This is timeless. We're going to be here. We're here forever. We're always here.
Yes, always available.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The
Thank
love
you.
that never leaves
Thank
you.
you guys, each
Thank
and every
you.
one
Thank
of
you.
you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Love you guys.
Love you. Yay, beloved. Mwah. What a beautiful celebration. And feel free to reach out to any of us for a one-on-one chat about anything and everything. Awakening. We're here for you. I am you. You are me. Yay, love you. The links are in the description of how to get in touch with us. Yay.